Here she comes.
The current reigning WSW Women's Champion, Shazza McKenzie. A Sydney native in enemy territory.
That's right, one of the greatest women's wrestlers in all of Australia. A decorated champion, the current World Series Wrestling Women's Champion, and a two-time Women's Champion at PWA, and also a former PWA Tag Team Championship.
She's definitely decorated in her own right, too.
Everything she has in you, she's willing to take it. You can see right here. And she can dish it back. That's what makes Evilise so dominant as a Shine champion.
But now Shazza McKenzie lighting up Evilise with those strikes.
And you see kicks now. And this is the thing for both ladies. Ooh, that was palm strikes too. And the kick to the gut. Those each kick to the thigh, man. It'll turn you in. To ground me, but that neck breaker there, well delivered.
Bad ideas as Shazza McKenzie tries to climb, and now her work with the chairs gets turned around a little bit as Laney gets a right hand in. Shazza's still in control. They're both standing on the second rope on the inside. Laney steps. Oh, no, not to the floor, not to the floor, not to the floor. Brakes put on by Shazza McKenzie, thank goodness. That could be a career ender. Oh, Laney gets jammed into the post by Shazza. And now Shazza has control of Tower of London from Shazza onto the chairs. Oh, that's it. That's all. It's over. Look at the leg. Count of 1, 2, and 3.
12 minutes, 22 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Shazza McKenzie.
Reach for it. Reach for it. I'm Matt Seidel. This is the I-70 Hot Tag.
What's up, everybody? It is one half of the beautiful people and 7-time women's world champion Angelina Love. And aren't you lucky? You are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current reigning, defending Impact World Champion, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, baby. Check it out, and remember, no matter what, I'm buff, and I'm still the stuff.
And now, CRMEDIA presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the Real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase. We are here for another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, episode 54, man. Of course, I am joined, as always, with my co-host, my best friend, the Real Josh Elliott. Josh, how you doing tonight, brother?
I am doing fantastic. Did we have some technical difficulties on intro there?
Man, I was like, man, what a perfect time for Xfinity to shit the bed.
Right?
Yeah. you guys are killing it over there. Love it. Guys, we've got a special show planned for you tonight. We're going to have Shazza McKenzie on. We're also going to break down the card of CSW Aftershock. We are also going to talk about the Fanfest this weekend. We've got a big show planned for you. But before we get into it, just want to get the knick-knack paddywhacks out of the way. We are live on twitch.tv/CRMedia1988. We are also live on YouTube and Facebook at the I-70 Hot Tag. If you guys have not, please, we would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the like button, hit the share buttons. It helps the algorithm. It helps get the word out there. And we greatly appreciate it. On the socials, my link tree is in the description. I know the I-70 Hot Tags link tree should be in the description. Make sure you guys go follow those. Because if you haven't already, by the end of the show, guys, the drawing is over. You have to enter in to have an opportunity to win it's a red strap NWA United States Championship. We're going to give it away. We're going to announce the giveaway next week, but you have until the end of the show tonight to enter in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you stay tuned. We will tell you how to enter, or put in the comments if you want to know how to enter, but we're not going to stay on that too long because we have a show to get to. We will talk about that after the break, but you have until the end of the show tonight. When we hit end, that's when the entries stop.
Yep.
I do want to shout out our sponsors tonight. We've got Big Daddy's Donuts, who is our main event sponsor, and then Dean's Trophies. If you guys are interested in being, if you guys know of anybody who is interested in being a sponsor, please have them reach out to the I-70 Hot Tag on social media or via email. We would greatly appreciate it. But Big Daddy's Donuts has 3 locations in Raymore and Belton, which is South Kansas City metro area. And then Dean's Trophies has 2 locations in the South Kansas City metro area. Make sure you go check them out and go show them some love. Without them, this machine is really hard to maneuver. So, also want to give a shout out to our guest last week, the Herb Simmons. Appreciate Herb taking the time to join the show, talk to us about SICW. Had a lot of comments last week of, man, SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. I thought the I-70 Hot Tag was Kansas and Missouri. Like we said when we originally started this, guys, the goal was to expand. And SICW is allowing us that opportunity to do so. So greatly appreciate that. You guys can go watch that on the video on demand on YouTube. Other than that, man, I tried to keep it really short and sweet for us this week, brother.
Yes.
There we go.
My man Gears. And no, Valencia has not mentioned anything about the Bucci. I did see that comment, though. That was great.
Yes, that was. That was very great.
So, guys, we have a like Chase said earlier, we have a very special guest this evening. I'm going to go ahead and introduce her now. She is making her debut in Central States Wrestling this weekend, May 13th, against Heather Reckless. You can also see her across the state in St. Louis, making her debut in St. Louis Anarchy on June 9th, I believe. So the next Anarchy show, she'll be there. So please welcome our guest this evening, Heartbreak Core, Shazza McKenzie.
myself. I am the Heartbreak Core, Shazza McKenzie. And for those unfamiliar with who I am an internationally renowned professional wrestler.
I thought you were going to play the whole thing. And I was like, don't make me watch an entire promo.
No. That's why I was laughing. I was like, I saw you put your shirt over your head. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is wrong?
I was like, I do not want to watch my own promo ever. That is horrifying. Oh, I was scared that we were going to do the whole minute. I was not mentally prepared for that.
That is awesome. Shazza, we appreciate you taking time tonight to chat with us and talk to us about wrestling in Kansas and Missouri. And we, like I said, we greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Shazza, the whole point of this show is, like I said, to highlight wrestling in the Midwest area. So I start off all the interviews I do with the exact same question. I'm not going to change anything up. I'm going to ask you to tell us and our viewers, who is Heartbreak Core Shazza McKenzie?
Heartbreak Core Shazza McKenzie is the greatest. Duh. I am, a mentally challenged, unwell human that has quit their life and moved to Missouri. I'm just keeping it. No. Sorry. I'm the Heartbreak. My brain is not working, but I'm a professional wrestler. And I've been doing this for 15 years, and I should know how to introduce myself and talk about my character and who I am. But basically the concept of what the Heartbreak Core is was, for many years I was Hardcore Shazza McKenzie, which meant that I put a lot of love and joy and happiness and my whole heart and soul into professional wrestling. And then professional wrestling just kept breaking my heart. And then one day I said, stuff it. F professional wrestling, and I'm going to break everyone else's hearts. That is the concept. That is the artistic vision that we had.
There you go.
And then along the way, I had a mental breakdown. But it's basically me having a mental breakdown in my 30s, and that's the logistics of it.
Join the club,
right? Right. You said you've been wrestling for 15 years. Started out in Australia, I'm assuming. Kind of walk us through your introduction to wrestling and kind of how you got started.
So I started watching wrestling a lot later than most people. I started watching when I was like 15. I basically saw it as a teenager. I was a bit of a rebellious teenager. I was a bit of a naughty? That sounds wrong. Yeah, I'll just go with rebellious. I'm going to stop talking. I was a rebellious teenager. And one day, one of my friends put on wrestling, and I suddenly went, oh, I don't care about anything else. This is the only thing I care about. And I stopped being a rebellious teenager. And then I just spent hours and hours and hours watching wrestling. And to the point that when I was 16, I dropped out of high school because I said, after I watched everyone's like documentaries like Mick Foley's and Ric Flair's and all these documentaries where they go, make sure you have a backup plan, make sure you get an education. I said, yeah. But I'm the exception, and I was not the exception. So stay in school, everyone. That is the moral of the story. Everyone should get an education. And so then from there, I basically Googled how to be a professional wrestler. And once I got a job and made enough money, I signed up to wrestling school, and now I'm here.
That's awesome.
Sounds like quite the journey. So
there's a few mental breakdowns.
So we're familiar with wrestling in America, but kind of tell us some of the similarities and differences of working in Australia compared to the United States, of course.
So the style of, like, wrestling in general is the same. Like, there's no, like, everyone wrestles the same. Everyone has the same. Wrestling is a universal language, or something. Like, it's the same whatever country you go to. There's just language barriers. Oh my God, why did my computer turn? Oh, sorry, my computer had a moment. But the difference is, in Australia, we wrestle, like, if you're good, if you're hot, if you're like one of the top ones, you're probably wrestling 3-4 times a month. Whereas here, you're wrestling 3-4 times a week if you're at the top. And the good thing about like it has its pros and cons, right? So, like, everyone back home in Australia, because we're only wrestling 3-4 times a week, we have so much time to train. And, like, the Australian wrestlers have, like, some of the best fundamentals that you'll ever see. And that's why so many of us have gone on to be, like, successful, like with Rhea Ripley and, like, Buddy Murphy. What's his name? Is it? God, his name's not Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same. Like, all these, like, Australian wrestlers that have come over here, like Grayson Waller and Indy Hartwell and all these people, they've come over here with really good basics, which has made it really easy for them to adapt and succeed and take over the world. And that is, like, the pro of us not wrestling as often. But at this point in my career, it is more beneficial for me to wrestle in front of a live crowd as much as possible than it is for me to bump in a training ring. But I still go to training. Like, one of the main reasons I chose St. Louis was because they have a really good school and a good ring that I can go down to at least once a week, schedule permitting. But yeah, that would be the major differences.
Is that, if you don't mind me asking, is that the Forge Wrestling School, or what school is it?
Sure is. We love the Forge.
We do. Speaking of St. Louis, you've appeared in Glory Pro a couple of times, and we watched your match on Monday against Laney Luck just a couple weeks ago at Powerhouse. Kind of talk to us about your history over the years with Laney Luck.
Oh my God, I still have a bruise from that. I was, like, looking at this today. I still have a bruise on my arm from the DVD in the chair. It's just still, I mean, it was like 2 weeks ago, but that's still, like, a very visible bruise, and that's literally what it's from. Me and Laney is someone who I think is just like a triple threat, or like to me, she has everything. She's a really good wrestler. She looks really good, and she's got a really cool character. And I've wanted to wrestle her for years. Like, I've known her for years, and I've wanted to wrestle her for years. And then we finally got to have a match back in, I want to say it was October. It was October last year. We had our first match at Glory, and she beat me, which I wasn't too happy about, but I digress. And then in March, we had a triple threat with Max the Impaler, and then she stole the victory from me, so I kind of had to attack her. But, like, it is what it is. And then we had a nice little street fight, because I said, we're going to take me seriously, because I'm here now. Like, now I'm here to stay. I'm not here as your little fly-in special attraction. This is my home. Glory is going to be one of my home promotions, and I'm going to be there every month, whether they like it or not, because I am that persistent, and I know how to drive to the South Broadway Athletic Club, or whatever it's called. So I'm just going to be there, whether people like it or not. And I needed to make a statement, so I did.
So Shazza, you've appeared in All Elite Wrestling, and kind of wanted to get your opinion on what it was like working for AEW, and what you took away from those experiences.
Absolutely. I was very lucky to work for AEW in, like, the early years. I was part of the first ever women's casino battle royale, when everyone, they didn't even have TV at the time. Dynamite hadn't even started. They were just, they'd just done Double or Nothing, and then All Out was their second pay-per-view. Well, oh no, they had, like, the fight, whatever it is.
Fight for the Fallen,
video, yeah, the video game one or whatever, they had something in there. So they had that in between, but like they were still very much like figuring everything out, and it was a very different roster to what's there now. And I feel very lucky to have been one of the very few people that got to experience like the very early days of AEW, the pre-pandemic days, as we may refer to them, because I feel like there's like pre-pandemic, there's pandemic, and then there's like post-pandemic. I mean, not that we're not post-pandemic, but you know, like post the world ending. Right. So I think that's like a really like there's like 3 different stages of AEW, and I was really lucky to get in there at that time, because I think that's such a cool experience that not many people have.
Right. So, you know, I got a kind of a 2-part question here. You know, you've wrestled, you know, all over the world, a lot of great talent that you've been in the ring with. My first question is there anybody on the independent scene that you have not had the chance to step in the ring with that you would like to? And we'll let you answer that one first.
Okay, well, there's 2, but I don't know if they technically count. They wrestle independently, but they are signed to Impact Wrestling, which is Deonna and Marsha. I've never wrestled either of them in a singles match, and money being left on the table, guys, because there would be bangers.
Yeah,
absolute bangers. Just somebody
Shazza and Marsha.
Yeah,
book it.
Yep. There you go.
My only other question was you kind of alluded to that, is there anybody on the WWE or AEW roster that you would like to have a match with at some point?
Okay, well, you're going to learn that I think that Charlotte Flair is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. So like in an ideal world, it's Charlotte Flair because she is the best. And when all the dust is settled in 20 years from now, when we're talking about who was the best female in professional wrestling, it is going to be Charlotte, whether people like it or not.
Yes.
I will fight with all the trolls till the end of the days for this one. It's just my opinion. But yeah, so Charlotte is like my dream match.
So the gentleman that we talked about before we went live, who told me to give you the message about Sydney, he despises Charlotte Flair. So
he's wrong. Sorry.
I love it.
He
that is
incorrect.
Awesome.
She is the best.
So, you know, I got a question I wanted to ask you, kind of a sidebar here, because I'm kind of disappointed. Josh does our rundown every week, and Josh works really hard on it, but I'm really disappointed that he missed this question or an opportunity to ask you this question. What is going on with you and Mr. Paywall, Sean Ross Sapp?
The audacity of that man. It is one thing for him to run in on me to no reaction, but it's a second thing for today to spend his entire day sending me text messages making fun of me because there was a nail in my tire. That's low.
Yeah.
That is a real life problem that I was having, and he said, "This is funny, and I'm going to laugh at you for it." So now,
you should have put it behind the paywall. When he asked you how you were doing, you should have said, "Pay me $4.99 and I'll tell you."
I should have. Instead, I pay him $4.99, and he told me I couldn't have a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Then he showed me how much money he makes, and I said, "This is bullshit." He goes, "Yeah, this is bullshit." Everyone has to pay.
Yeah. I'm sitting here. We're sitting here doing this for free, and he's buying a house with it. You know? It's ridiculous. So as we alluded to at the beginning, and it was announced earlier this week, you are going to make your St. Louis Anarchy debut on June 9th. Kind of talk to us about that.
So that is obviously when you plan to move to St. Louis, there's certain companies that you, I guess, start to focus on and make sure you know what's happening in them, and get to become acquainted with the history of. And obviously Anarchy is such a huge part of St. Louis history, wrestling history. So the fact that I get to make my debut there is in June is really exciting. I have no idea who I'm wrestling. I have literally no idea. I keep trying to like figure out like who's announced for a match, who might it be. I have no idea who it's going to be. So I am excited to, one, find out who it is, and two, have an absolute banger. And then they have to book me constantly because I live here now, and I'll just keep. It's just like Glory. I'll just keep showing up, guys.
Yep.
Once I figure out where Spalding Hall is, you can't stop me. I'll be there.
It's a
I've got
crazy.
car. I'll go.
Yeah, it's a crazy atmosphere. I'll tell you. I don't know how familiar you are with it. Obviously, we watch a lot of. We're in Kansas City, so St. Louis is like 5 hours away. 4.5. But I just went to my first Spalding Hall event in the 20-year history of St. Louis Anarchy. And it's crazy. It's wild. It's rambunctious, and you're gonna love it. So
I'm hyped.
Yep. Yeah. So other side of the state, right where we're in our backyard, Kansas City, Central States Wrestling. That beginning of that promo that you cut earlier in the show, you're going to be going up against Heather Reckless, which you've had some history with. Kind of talk to us. What can we expect from you in that match, and maybe talk a little bit of your history with Heather. Leading up to this.
Look, there's not many people I wrestle that I get to be a powerhouse around, but I get to be a powerhouse with Heather. So I have a lot of fun.
Yep.
As someone that has spent their entire career being thrown around, it is fun to throw someone else around once in a while. And that's what you can expect from me on Saturday, is me getting really overly confident about my strength and thinking that I am much stronger than I am and throwing her around. That's what you can expect there. But I think Heather, again, another like really great athlete. We wrestled for the first time last year, and then we had another match back in March. She was my first match when I moved here in March at AAW. So I'm excited to mix it up with her again. I think she's super talented, and another person that's like a total package and has like just give her money. I don't know. Like, there's so many talented women around here. And I'm just like, why don't we just give them thousands and thousands of dollars because they're great? Because that's what I think everyone should get if they're really good.
Thousands and thousands, definitely.
Yep. So there's some, we don't have any questions, I don't believe, in the chat, but someone, I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of the local talent, but we've got someone get us Shazza versus Stormy Renee. Stormy's the Kansas Wrestling Alliance. She wrestles in Kansas over Heartland Championship Wrestling. So she's a great talent as well. That would be a fantastic match.
I'll have to look her up.
So a lot of people are excited for CSW. A lot of our fans or viewers, not fans, are CSW fans. So
I'm excited to be at CSW finally. I feel like I've watched a bunch of them, not a bunch of them, but I've watched like bits and pieces and stuff. So I'm excited. Plus, I'm excited to go back to Kansas City. I went to Kansas City once last year for Journey, and I just thought Kansas City was just a really nice city. I was just like, oh, I just want to hang out here. Like, this is a nice place.
Yes, very nice. And we miss Journey Pro. So yes.
Yeah.
We do have a question in the chat. Brian J. Brian is our honorary member of the I-70 Hot Tag. We tag Brian in when Josh or I are not able to make it. But he made that trip to St. Louis with me, where we went and saw Anarchy, and we saw GCW the next day. And he wants to know, besides Masha, is there anyone on that roster you would want to match with, or have you done, or would you do a death match?
So I really, really, really also want is probably the wrong word. I need to have a match with Janela. I am owed a match with Janela. We had a feud over 3 years because of the pandemic, where we were supposed to have a match, but it didn't happen because the world ended. And we finished our little story with like a thing in like the clusterfuck, but like, I think a good one-on-one match would be perfect finish for it. That said, he would kill me. So do I really want it? I don't know. It's like, I want it, but do I have a death wish? But also I might kill him. So who knows? And as far as a death match, I've never done a death match. I do have a match at ICW No Holds Barred in June that I agreed to. So
that's where Cruel came from. If you're not,
I
familiar.
love Cruel. Cruel. I'm so excited when I remembered that Cruel was on this show on Saturday. I was so excited because he is the coolest. Like, he's so cool. Like, I could never be as cool as Cruel. So I'm very excited to see Cruel. But yeah, I have. Maybe I guess it's in the chains. I guess it's Look, I don't know. I agreed to the booking, and then like an hour later went, "Oh no!" And then I was like, "It's fine. It's ages away." But now it's not ages away. Now it's in June.
Yeah, it's not a death match unless you do the light tubes. You got.
I feel like that's probably going to happen.
Okay, all right.
I've swung light tubes before. I've just not been hit with the light tubes, and I think as long as you've been in the ring with the light tubes, that should count because once you start rolling around in the glass, it's the same. Like,
yeah, you might as well. I don't even think getting hit with them is as bad as rolling around and what was under it.
It's the wrestling in them once they've been smashed.
Yeah. Brian, when we went to GCW, Brian J, who asked the question, almost got hit with a light tube at the end of the night when they had that death match.
Yeah.
One of the guys hit another guy over the head, and we were on the balcony, and a piece of that light tube flew all the way up. And it had cut Brian's arm if it went right across his shirt. It was
stress.
Yes, it was
stress.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm stressed for you.
Yeah, he's diabetic, so I really didn't want him to start bleeding out. We'd had a problem.
And there was a bloody tornado that day. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes.
What a day! What a day!
Yeah, we're all standing outside, and they're like the door, like the flyer says that the doors open at 7.
Yeah.
And it's like 7:05 and like the sirens are going off and like the wind and dust blowing everywhere. And we're like, yo, can we get inside?
Yeah. Imagine if we all just died at Pops. What a legacy.
I texted my wife, and my wife was like, oh, it's so fitting that you would choose to die watching wrestling. And I was like, you have no idea.
Exactly. I was like, well, at least I'm dying at a wrestling show. That seems pretty fitting.
Yeah, there you go. Die with Nick Gage introducing us. Shazza, as we're winding this thing down, kind of wanted to ask you, what other bookings and ventures do you have going on in the area that you could kind of tell our viewers about, so we know where to find you in the next few weeks?
So I have a few things in Chicago. So tomorrow I'm off to freelance in Chicago. Next Friday I'm at Chicago Style Wrestling, I guess is also in Chicago. I don't know. I got to learn to drive. I know how to drive, but I have to do one of these big drives by myself, and it's scary. And then I have GCW up in Detroit next week, which is really exciting. And then I'm off to Vegas for like a week. So I don't know. Then I come back and there's some wrestling. But mainly in my brain, I'm just trying to get to Vegas. I'm like, do all these wrestling, get to Vegas, and relax. I have to wrestle in Vegas. But I also get at some point to sit by a pool. And that's all I want. I just want to sit by a pool.
There you go.
I just want to chill. So that's where my brain is. My brain's like, get to Vegas. Just get to Vegas.
Right. You can assume that the Chicago promotion is in Chicago.
I would assume. Is it not?
I don't know, because St. Louis Anarchy is not in St. Louis. It's in Alton, Illinois. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess I'll look it up.
I just want to forewarn you. You may want to GPS that or Siri or Google or whatever you use. So
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Is there a spot online that we can buy some Shazza merchandise?
I have a bunch of new t-shirts up on my Pro Wrestling Tees store. My big cartel at the moment is down because I haven't sorted my life out yet. And I need to switch it over to America and stuff like that. But other than that, supporting me via my OnlyFans, my Patreon, and my Brand Army are the best ways to do it, because that's literally how I pay my bills, and I'm not allowed to get a real job in this country, so I need money.
Absolutely. Shazza, so I know you mentioned your Patreon, OnlyFans, and stuff like that. Real quick, where can everybody find you on social media to get those links and whatnot?
At Shazza _McKenzie on Twitter and Instagram. You'll probably have to type the whole thing in because both apps have shadow banned me because they hate me. And I love that because that's how I make my money. But that's okay.
We feel you on that.
Yeah.
We feel you on that. I feel like the social networks push every other stupid podcast but ours.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You win some, you lose some.
But you live to fight another day.
Yes, you do.
That's a really good movie. You should watch it.
On the list.
On the list.
So as we kind of wind this down, I don't know if you saw the intro. We like to ask every guest at the end if they would kind of turn up the gimmick a little bit. We'll put you full screen. We'll take Chase and I off and say,
Before we do that, I need to ask a question.
Yep.
Is the I-70 like the road that goes between like St. Louis and Kansas City? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I was watching the whole thing, I was like, I think that's why it's called this.
Yeah. The I-70 actually goes all the way across the United States.
Wow. Oh my God. So I can just get on it and like go. Oh, I shouldn't do that. That's scary.
Yeah.
But maybe one day.
Yeah, you should probably get some driving experience before
I attempt to do an
absolutely.
entire
That's what I would recommend. Or
that's fair. We'll see how I go getting to Chicago by myself next week.
Yeah, call Lainey and tell her to take you all the way across the set.
Yeah, come on, Lainey.
Yeah,
go for a ride.
Yeah.
So we'll take us off the screen and you just turn up the gimmick a little bit and say, "This is Shazza McKenzie, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag."
Sounds good.
All right. You can go whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Shazza McKenzie, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got people who are excited to see you Saturday. We unfortunately will not be there. Are a little upset, but yeah,
I feel like I've been lured into a trap now because conversation I was like, wow, we're getting to know each other. This is such good banter, and I'm gonna like be able to banter with them again on Saturday, and then
no.
Like.
But you'll have plenty of time. I mean, there will be more events. Definitely. It's just we forgot to send our calendar to CSW, so it just.
The audacity.
I know.
Right?
This is the first.
Not checking with you first.
That's what I said. And then they told me they were
call,
like,
and then you book the venue.
Yeah. Like, man, we really should have called the podcast guys before we decided to book a venue. Well, Shazza, we appreciate you taking the time to do this. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And yes, we will definitely be seeing you around since you are in the Kansas City, St. Louis area, Midwest area. So we definitely cannot wait to hook up at an event where you'll be at. So
awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. We will
have a
see
good
you
night.
Later. Bye. All right. Shazza McKenzie.
Yes. Appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody who joined in the comments, everybody who questions that were asked. Brian J. Yes, Brian and Gears of Kai will both be there Saturday. Real quick, I want to bring up something before we because everybody knows that after the interviews, we always take the 5-minute intermission. And then we come back and we chit chat and talk about Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling. Before we do that, though, I want to bring this up. Sir Cam, I will say whatever the hell I want. Okay.
Ooh, is this 2 nights in a row that you're getting criticized on how you say words?
Yeah, it's starting to become a fucking problem.
Raz was giving me shit yesterday, and now.
Yeah, I know. Just letting you know that that YouTube, yes, I will be wrong if I want to. YouTube has this wonderful feature called Put User in Timeout. Okay. If y'all start talking about my my speech impediment, I'll start putting some of you sons of bitches in timeout. All right, guys. We greatly appreciate everybody joining us for that interview. Like I said, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission. About 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. So it's a little bit more than that. We do have one new guest we've booked for June 1st. So stay tuned for that. It's going to announce the week after Alex Strahan. So
absolutely
be sure to check that out, and it will be in the mid-show break. What's up?
I'm laughing at Guy. when you went to time somebody out and you timed him out by
oops.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, like I said, we're gonna take a 5-minute intermission. Go get you a drink. Go get you something to eat. Come back. Make sure you watch the intermission video because, like I said, we get asked all the time. Hey, don't know if there's wrestling events going on in my area. I live in Central Missouri. I don't want to drive to St. Louis. I don't want to drive to Kansas City. The intermission video is going to show you all that important information plus other stuff as well. So make sure you stay tuned and watch the video, and we will be right back.
There was one name left on the list. One more mile-high mountain to climb. But that's not who I'm facing May 13th at Central States Wrestling. Conan Lycan. I bear you no ill will. But you're in the path of a freight train, an avalanche that cannot be stopped. Now, Conan, I know you're an incredible athlete. You're a monster, a beast. But a beast is still just flesh and bone. And I'm a killing machine.
Yo, this is your #1 brother Slammer, and on Saturday night, May 13th, I return to action at the South Broadway Athletic Club in St. Louis, Missouri for MMWA Professional Wrestling. I'm pulling double duty that night, brother, because I'm entering the Tony Costa Memorial Battle Royal, and I'm going to throw all the other competitors over the top rope and win that glorious trophy. And then I'm going to step into action against that mean, nasty Butcher Damian Blade. I hear you talking, Butcher, but I'm not scared of no man, and I ain't scared of no beast, especially no pig man. So I'm coming for you, Butcher. So on Saturday night, May 13th, what you gonna do, MMWA, when Slammer runs wild on you, brother?
one, Big Daddy, eat more donuts.
What's up, Raheem? Your favorite yoga monster here, Mike Seidel, and I'm really looking forward to wrestling you this Saturday, May 13th at the Ottawa Army National Guard, because you are one of the fastest rising young up-and-comers out of the Midwest. When I heard that, a couple of words really stuck in my ear. Young, up-and-comer. Man, I've been around the block and around the world wrestling for 16 years. Youth is on your side, man, but that also tells me you are inexperienced. Every match I have, the more yoga I do, my third eye opens wider and wider, and with your inexperience, you will make a mistake. And I'll see it coming. And when I do, I'll make the most of it. I'll teach you a lesson that's important to learn in your young career, and that is that a loss is not the end of the world, man. It's just Carmageddon. Namaste.
Kansas City, I've missed you.
Because 2 Central States shows without Dak Draper is 3 too many. But don't you worry. Because on May 13th, the Magnum is back, and I'm facing the boss of the plains, Manders. What do they call him, the boss of the plains? I think he might have his pilot's license or something. But if he is the boss of the plains, that's fine. But he's not the boss of me. And he's not the boss of Kansas City, and he's sure as hell not the boss of Central States Wrestling. Because the boss of Central States Wrestling is the guy who holds the Central States title. And if Manders has a problem with that, he can meet me on Saturday at the Lenexa Armory. And if you miss it, then shame on you.
Wrestling fans, don't miss the giant SICW Wrestling Fanfest and Hall of Fame. Nearly 50 superstars will be on hand Saturday, May 13th at the Aviator Hotel and Ballroom, St. Louis.
Welcome back. And Chase does this thing every single week. Stands up about 20 seconds before we come back from break. So we're here. He's back now, so I'm going to... there he is.
Yes.
I did want to point out before we kick things off here, Gears pointed out a jarring difference of promo styles. And I said it right when I watched it. There's not very many, if any, that do a better promo right now in 2023 than Luke Langley. His promos are on fire every single month or every time CSW does an event. If he does a promo in another company, fire as well. So Luke Langley is on a rocket to the top. So
absolutely.
As is his promo. So
absolutely.
Luke is dope. And not my champ. I'm assuming he's speaking to Mr. Dak.
Yeah, we have to remember that Sir Cam is one of 3 people who actually like Jeremy Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody's weird. So,
yep,
it's all right. Anyways, guys, we appreciate you all coming back and hanging out with us. We've got a
big second half.
Absolutely. Guys, anybody watching this not enter in for the giveaway yet to win this red strap NWA United States Championship? That's totally free to enter. I don't know, man.
That is a absolutely gorgeous belt. And you have until the end of this show, guys.
Yep,
It's
the end of this
about an hour away, roughly. However long it takes us to get through the second half.
Yep.
To enter, you got to follow us on all socials. Let's pull this graphic up. Follow us on all social medias. We have 5 of them. It's the I-70 hot tag. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. I know that's been a holdup for whatever reason on some people, that they don't want to get a TikTok or they don't want to get one of those social media platforms. Follow us on all 5, screenshot all 5, and send it to us on any of those platforms. Probably the best is going to be Instagram, but you can send it to us on Twitter or Facebook. They all have messenger apps. That will be your entry for entry number 1.
Yes.
Entry number 2 is to share our page or this post. You can see this post on every platform. Share, add to your story on Instagram, repost on TikTok. There's different various ways of sharing and posting things of the I-70. Screenshot that, and that gets you 2 entries, and your name is on the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel next week. That'll get you your name on the wheel twice to be able to win this. And Chase will just tell you how to get a 3rd entry into this.
Yes, to get your name on the wheel 3 times, you must be a subscriber to my Twitch, twitch.tv/CRMEDIA1988. That is not the same as a follower on Twitch. A subscribe is a paid membership. You pay $4.99 a month to subscribe to the Twitch. However, if you have Amazon Prime, you can use your sub Prime to subscribe to the Twitch. Like I said, you do those 3 things, you get your name on the wheel 3 times, which gives you 3 times more chances to win. So, really easy, guys. Like I said, you have until the end of this show tonight to do it. We probably will do it one more time before we close out. Tell you guys how to do it, just because it's really easy and it's stupid not to. You say, well, Chase, I really don't want to subscribe to your Twitch. Okay, cool. You don't have to. It's an extra entry if you want to. Somebody might get their heart broke next week when they lose this belt to somebody who only entered in 1 time. And somebody got their name on the wheel 3 times and they weren't able to win it. So it's going to be completely random. It's not going to be, we're going to spin a randomized wheel right here on the screen with you guys. So
yes, I was going to say that's going to be different than any other giveaway that we've done. We've done 2 giveaways. One was the AEW tickets early on, and then we did the swag bag. But we did not do it live here, but this is going to be a live. We're going to share the screen. You're going to see the wheel. You're going to see your name on it, and and whatever it lands on is who wins that belt. So that happens next week.
Yes. SICW FanFest.
Whew.
Let's talk about some of the people that are going to be there. If you are in the St. Louis area, and you have nothing to do on Saturday, highly recommend coming out to this. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., right?
I believe they've changed that to 5.
Okay.
I believe it's 10 to 5. The in between at some point.
Because they're running, it's a dual event with SICW and New Breed. So I don't know if New Breed, if they're going to run one event together, or if New Breed's going to run their event and then SICW is going to kick off after that. I have no idea. But
all I know is Dr. Eisen is going to defend his title against El Diablo in the New Breed title at this event on Saturday. So first time ever that the New Breed title is going to be defended in St. Louis. So that's pretty cool.
Up. That's who I'm going for.
Hell yeah.
Not a Dr. Eisen fan, obviously. More of a El Diablo fan. Shout out to El Diablo. That's an interview we have to redo because we messed that up. I messed that up. I don't know. Something got messed up, but that's an interview we got to do again. So, but yes, let's talk about all the legends that are going to be there. You've got JJ Dillon, Enzo Amore, Ted DiBiase, JBL, the Nasty Boys, Jimmy Hart, Jerry Briscoe, Rick McCord, Cowboy Bob Orton, Teddy Long, Barbara Goodish, Earl Hebner, Victoria, Virgil, Greg Gagne, Darla Staggs, Bushwhacker Luke, the Brooklyn Brawler, the Grappler, Tugboat Typhoon, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Black Bart, Barry Horowitz, the Berserker, Bobby Fulton, Stan Hansen, Buff Bagwell, James Beard, Haku, Wes Briscoe, Ken Patera, Spike Huber, Silas Mason, Ross Hart, Rip Rogers, and Ron Powers. And there's plenty more too. According to Herb, he said that list wasn't updated, so isn't fully updated, I think.
This one went back. I had to scroll back on his Facebook to find this. So
like he mentioned last week, there's more names on this list, which is crazy to think about. Like I said, guys, it's going to be a wonderful event. If you are in the St. Louis area, come out, say what's up to us. We're going to be at the Aviator Hotel and Ballroom in St. Louis, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So come say what's up. There's going to be.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say there's going to be various different sponsors. One of those sponsors is going to be the I-70 Hot Tag, and a bunch of others as well.
Yeah, so I wanted to shout out a couple of these sponsors. So obviously on the top left there, I-70 Hot Tag, we are a sponsor. New Breed Wrestling, doing great work in Central Missouri. They're going to be there as well as Howl, Heart of the Ozarks Wrestling League. They're going to be there and having a booth. Falls Count Anywhere podcast, everywhere podcast. I'm sorry, Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Mr. Barbecue, Snyder's Toys, Truman's Red, White, and Blue Chili, Relax Massage Center is going to be there. Womack Wrestling with Classics, Trainwreck Coffee Express, Layla's Roadhouse, SWP, GT Collectibles, which I'm pretty sure GT is bringing in multiple wrestlers, including Buff Bagwell, including Virgil. I don't know who all else, but they are a heavy sponsor for this on the ability of them to bring in some of these wrestlers. Interstate 70 Sports Media, and then unsure what the bottom right one is, but I know he has a Andre the Giant memorial and paintings and stuff that he has collection of Andre the Giant merch that he's going to be bringing there as well. So a lot of great sponsors for this event. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, each one of these are going to have a table at FanFest. So you're going to be able to go up and speak to everybody from New Breed, Howl, Interstate 70, GT Collectibles. They're all going to be there. So just wanted to give a shout out to some of those sponsors that make this FanFest possible.
Absolutely. Want to kind of back up a little bit. Howl, Heart of the Ozarks Wrestling League. We have not talked about them because they are a new promotion that will be launching in September or October. Not solidified on the dates yet, but obviously if you are in that St. Louis area, you're going to there's going to be a lot of information about Howl going out there. So definitely go check them out if you are in that Ozark area and interested in what wrestling can provide you there. So
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely. So speaking of CSW, now just because we're not going to be there doesn't mean we're not going to cover it. We cover all independent wrestling in Kansas and Missouri.
Yep.
So let's talk about this card for Aftershock, man. First match starting up. Our guest tonight, Shazza McKenzie, who is sponsored by Wrestling with Sales with Gerald Bentley. Gerald is a very nice gentleman. We've met him several times at the CSW events, and Gerald always helps sponsor matches or sponsors wrestlers. So shout out to him. And she's gonna be taking on Heather Reckless. We saw Heather Reckless and Tootie Lynn last month. Definitely good to see, more women's wrestling and more women's matches brought back to CSW, and excited for this one, definitely.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Next match, certain person in our live stream right now is loving this one. The premiere with Roscoe Leach. They have been kind of playing roughshod to members of the Forge over in St. Louis, and each match they're kind of calling out Mike Outlaw and Camaro Jackson. You heard it a couple events ago. They looked right in the camera and directly, we saw it. We both looked at each other, and they both were calling for Mike Outlaw and Camaro Jackson. Well, they asked for it, and they are going to receive the two big dogs of Team Forge, Mike Outlaw, Camaro Jackson. This is going to be a slugfest here. I don't think we give predictions. Even though I feel like we should, we always kind of do, but we got a lot to cover here. So this match right here is one of two, just the only tag team match on this card. So it's gonna kill it. They do very well on tag team matches in CSW. So I'm extremely excited for this one.
Absolutely. Appreciate Ron Duffney joining in, saying yo. If you haven't already, Ron, make sure you hit that follow button and that share button. The next match, triple threat match. And this is very interesting triple threat match. We've got Dan the Dad against Scott Tyler, who is sponsored by Top Tier Figures, against America's Sweetheart, the big strong boy, Ethan Price. We saw Ethan Price. We saw Ethan Price posted a promo for this match on CSW social media. And the two guys, man, Dan the Dad, Ethan Price, I'm not sure that they're gonna match up well with how hot Scott Tyler is right now in CSW, man. So
I 100% agree, but your boy Gears Akai disagrees. He's taking Ethan Price on this one. So
yeah, I see that.
It is a I don't know if it's a change of character. It's a change of definitely a different Ethan Price than we're used to seeing. Or maybe it's just a facade to try to get Roscoe Leach's attention. So, but I'm also with you and Brian. I think Scott Tyler continues. This is his first multi-man match though in CSW, so he is undefeated. But
absolutely,
we'll see how he fares with two opponents rather than just one. Next match, Anaya Howlett with Coach Froz, not pictured, against Moonshine Mantell and Greg Jovi. And the reason I say that is because Greg cut a pretty good promo, or actually he posted on social media mentioning that Coach Froz was not on this graphic with Anaya, but he will be there, as we well know. The Howletts are have some issues with Moonshine as of late, and the King's Road Slayer, Derek Neal. So this is a one-on-one match to see who has the upper hand, and this is going to be a fantastic match. I'm extremely excited to see not only Anaya and Moonshine in the match, but I'm excited to see what happens with Greg Jovi and Coach Froz on the outside of the ring. This is going to be extremely entertaining.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If I'm Greg Jovi, I take some some notes from Deal with the Steel, because I don't know if you heard or not, but Roscoe Leach has mentioned he ain't been right ever since he got cracked in the skull and the cranium by Coach Froz with that kendo stick. So,
yep. All right, next one up.
Yes, we've got the Land Shark, who we saw make his CSW debut last month. Conan Lycan taking on the Black Diamond Luke Langley. As Luke Langley mentioned in his promo that he cut, this was not the road that he was projecting himself to take. He had one more victim on his tour, but Conan Lycan steps in. So this is going to be very interesting. Just kind of asking yourself right now, does Conan Lycan stop the stop the train that Luke Langley is on? Or does Luke Langley put the Land Shark down and keep on trucking, man? So gonna be very interesting.
It is. And is it in Langley's promo in the mid-show break? We saw he has 1 mile high mountain to climb. So his eyes are set, and the Land Shark's just a roadblock. So I think this is gonna be great, man. Because we know how great Conan is. So but we know Luke Langley has been on an absolute tear lately. So this is gonna be a fun match. Next up, Hoodie Howlett with Coach Fraz, running in to the Atrocity Cruel. If you guys don't know who Cruel is, if you weren't at the last CSW show, debuted, virtually destroyed Davey Vega, and then destroyed a bunch of security guards and struck fear in everybody that was anywhere around him. He is just a presence, and sponsored by Kincaid. Man, but if one guy, if there's one man that's going to step in and stop the Atrocity, that man is Hoodie Howlett.
Yes, indeed.
So if you're gonna come to Kansas City, you're gonna face the best. We're gonna put you up against the best. So
yeah, I didn't want to say anything because Shazza was very, very excited to see Cruel. But today on one of those social CSW social medias, when they posted this graphic, somebody called him Wish Kane ordered from Wish or something like that.
Yes,
I just wanted to highlight that. I thought that was dope as fuck. So sorry, not sorry, man. I fucking died laughing when I heard it or when I read that comment.
Oh, this is a good one, Chase. You got it.
Yeah. The main event, the co-main event for the DWF Championship. You've got the Monarch Jeremy Wyatt against second to none Kenny Alfonso. Kenny Alfonso posted a promo today or promo recently. Maybe not been today, might have been yesterday. Talking to Jeremy Wyatt and talking about this match with Jeremy Wyatt. Man, you got the King of Kansas City, and you've got Robin Hood himself coming to behead the King. I like this main event. I think it's going to be very, very good. I'm just I'm a little worried about little worried. So
yeah,
but I think these two are going to tear the house down. So I think this main event steals the show.
Yeah, 100%. Could not agree more.
Yep.
Two of the best in Kansas City, and this is going to be awesome. So can't wait to see who wins this one.
Agreed.
And,
real quick
yeah,
before you break down this match, Sonny Money says he's got a qualm to pick with us.
Uh-oh.
I'm waiting to find out what that is.
What is a qualm? What does that mean?
A bone, I think, right?
Oh, why
bone to pick with us?
Just say bone. Come on, Sonny.
Don't use big words because I don't know what they mean, and I'm gonna take them as disrespect.
Exactly. Don't make me use Google. But Mile High Magnum Dak Draper coming back after missing 2 CSW shows to defend his CSW championship against the one called Manders. Second time we're going to see Greg Jovi on the show, coming in with Manders. We've seen Manders across our area many times. He was in CSW not recently and
lost.
And lost. Yes,
Yep.
I was going to try to politely say that, but yes,
Yep.
he lost. But going up against the Mile High Magnum, and I don't see any other way that this one's going to go besides that Dak Draper is going to come in, wipe the floor with Manders, and go home with the title as well. But
shout out to 2 wrestling nerds sponsoring Dak Draper in this match.
Yeah, that's the second. That's the second. I'm not sure. Was it Luke Langley that he's? Yeah, they're sponsoring Luke Langley as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So shout out to them.
Yes. So here is Sonny Money's qualm. He says, I delivered to Brian J. Bebe shoot job today. He signed the delivery bill, told me to suck it. Yakuza kicked me and then yelled out, I-70 hot tag, bitch. Well, see, the reason why that is, Sonny, is because Brian J. has a great memory. Brian J. doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive and he doesn't forget. There was a video you did a while back where your kid put you in an ankle lock, or maybe it was a single leg Boston Crab. I'm not sure. And he told you to admit that the Wrestle Talk podcast was the best wrestling podcast. And see, we took a problem with that. So we put the hit out on you, baby. I mean, that's just what it is, man. It's what it is. So
it also
tell old Night Owl he's next. He's next.
We may not be. Yeah, I wasn't lying. We can't take out Night Owl though. He's our interpreter for El Diablo. So
that's all right. That's all right. You're right. We can't.
Plus, Brian J lets you go. Lets you go rogue every once in a while. So
that's right. Well, no. Brian J was doing exactly what he was supposed to do.
Oh yeah,
a Yakuza kick. Yeah,
boom.
It's real out in the street. That's right.
So that's not the only event happening.
It is not, man.
The general vicinity of the Kansas City area. We have another one that is an extremely heavy packed card happening over in Ottawa, Kansas. They are about an hour away from Kansas City, maybe 45 minutes roughly, depending on where you live in the city. This card is Trailblazer Championship Wrestling Tornado Alley. And we're going to run through this just like we did CSW, match for match, card for card, and we will run through it. First up on the match, Rocco the Barbarian is taking on the returning, I believe this is his return match, the Suplex Cyclone, Kurt Gannon, who I don't think is seen. He was in Control Your Narrative, I believe, for a little bit, but Kurt has not wrestled in Kansas City for a while, the Kansas City area. Very highly respected in the Kansas City area. If I remember when we watched or when we interviewed, I think it was Johnny Faith, a previous interview he did, he was asked a wrestler on the independent scene in our area who he would love to wrestle, and Kurt Gannon was on that list. So nice. This is gonna be a fun match. Oh, not to mention Rocco's with Deacon Kane. And what did Rocco wins? Dean Houston. All right, he's picking Rocco.
Picking Rocco. Sonny Money says, looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. He's gonna challenge Stan Hansen to step outside like a man. Wish me luck. All right, well,
I dare you to challenge him to see how much chewing tobacco you can fit in the mouth, because damn sure he's going to win that one.
Yeah. Good luck, Sonny. Maybe we have your back. Maybe we don't. We'll see. We'll see how that goes out. Next match at Tornado Alley, Shooter Shy Lynn takes on the Little Blue Dragon Tootie Lynn, man. I wish these wrestling companies would correlate their events around each other or something, because would love to go to FanFest this weekend, would love to go to CSW, and would love to go to this Trailblazer event.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah. Anyways, there's going to be this is first of many matches that I think Shy Lynn and Tootie Lynn are going to have. I think they're going to tear the house down. And like I said, I think this is going to be a first of many, but we're very excited for this one as well.
Yep. Next match, Bobby Joe Black taking on Salem Gust. Not familiar with Gust, but we know Bobby Joe has been tearing it up in Trailblazer. He also had a nice match up in Tri-States Wrestling, so he's kind of making his rounds in our area. So this should be a fun match at the Army National Guard. Arcadia Pod wrote, if you guys haven't checked that out, go look at our Facebook page. I shared it out. He wrote a nice little piece. He does CSW every month, but he did one on Tri-States and had a pretty significant article or a section of that article on Bobby Joe Black. So he was very impressed as well. I have not seen him in person, but have heard a lot of good things. So this should be a fun match.
Absolutely. The next one, you've got Jared Thumb and the returning Burt Candy against Tobias Storm and Vam Bam Winkle. Very excited. I know there's a lot of heat between Burt Candy and Tobias Storm right now. Tobias Storm has decided to, I don't know if you saw that or not, but he magic erasered Burt Candy out of a picture of them two. So very interested to see where that goes.
Yep. And he's excited to team up with old Vam Bam. So he's been posting a lot. If you guys don't follow Tobias Storm, go give him a follow.
Yes.
He's
very worth it. Very entertaining.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So next match, we've got Madman Max Sterling taking on Moses the Deliverer. We all know how great Moses is, the longest reigning WLW champion, Team Forge, fantastic, fantastic professional wrestler, as is Madman Max. He's wrestled in WLW as well, a lot in Trailblazer, as we've seen. So this is going to be a fun match, and I'm excited. Like you said, man, I wish we could attend all three of these events at the same time, because we're attending a fantastic fan fest. We're missing two extremely fantastic events. So
yes, but it's a great problem to have in our area, guys.
It is
a great problem to have. This next one, Corn Boy Kevin Gutierrez is going to take on the ruler of ass, Warhorse. Very excited to see Warhorse going to Ottawa, Kansas. Hopefully get to see him more around in the Kansas City area coming up. Not really familiar with Corn Boy, but I don't really think you need to be familiar with Corn Boy. I think this is Warhorse all day long. So
shout out to Warhorse. He did post that he recently, I believe 9 days ago, just had a child. So
yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. So congratulations to them. And in the main event, as we saw, Mike Seidel's promo in the mid-show break, the yoga monster himself, Mike Seidel, is taking on the whole thing, Raheem De La Suede, who's going to be our guest next week. Cannot wait for that. This match, we know how great Raheem is. We know how great Mike Seidel is. I'm assuming this is going to be the main event. This is going to tear the house down, and this is my pick. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good matches on this card. Shailene and Tootie Lynn could be a sneaky show stealer. Two phenomenal women's wrestlers, but this right here, I think is going to be the show stealer here. So
yes, agreed.
I forgot, I skipped over this, but Amina Belmont is also going to be in attendance, whether or not she's going to be in a match or not. But so just wanted to
there you go,
point that out there. Maybe she'll be eyeing Shooter Shailene and then Tootie Lynn's match. So maybe
it's going to be a fantastic show. If you are not in the Kansas City area and you cannot make it out to CSW, you're a little bit further into Kansas and you're looking for a good show to go watch, go check out Trailblazer Championship Wrestling. That card is stacked, and that's going to be lots of fun. The next event going on this weekend, MMWA is going to feature our guy Slammer. They are going to have the third annual Tony Costa Memorial Battle Royal, not to be confused with another promotion running in St. Louis that's not from St. Louis, as per their graphic said. Listen, hey, you posted it on there, so
yeah,
I'm gonna say it every time.
Before we don't have much, and I kind of wanted to, I put this on our rundown here. If anybody from MMWA
Yes, I love it.
is watching this.
Let them know, Josh. Tell them, Josh.
We love your videos. I love a video. As you know, we are very pro video. We like to promote via graphics and the wow, all that good stuff. But please start posting your match graphics on your social medias. Again, don't stop your videos, but also in turn post what matches you're going to have. I was prepping this show. You saw every match that CSW put on. You saw every match that Trailblazer put on. I have no idea without going through every single video that's posted. Again, great videos, but every single video to go to the end of each one that has their match graphics on it. So again, love your videos. They're great, but let me go through let us promote you. Make it easier for us to promote your events, because right now it's extremely difficult. Yes. So we don't have anything. We know Slammer's there. We know they're having a Tony Costa Memorial Battle Royal, but I know Ashlyn Alexander's going to be there. I know that Moondog Connolly is going to be there, but I don't know anything else.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yes. And I know Moondog will be there because I saw him sitting in his work outfit on the stairs while Slammer yelled at him. So during Slammer's promo,
he's got to be like a tow driver. It looks just like a passenger. Like he's wearing the high vis and everything. So
yep. So yeah, and like I said, man, I mean it's free. It's free publicity. It's free promotion. That's what we do. And I went on this when I had Brian J on just a few weeks ago when it was me and Brian J, and Brian J had some technical difficulties, and while he was gone, I was like, hey, like if anybody's listening to this from a promotion, like it helps us, because dude, like it's crazy, because I was when I was trying to do the rundown for the show and I was doing it by myself, I'm like, okay, like I'm looking through all the promotions that had events, and I'm like, there was one promotion that posted their results or that I knew what happened because they televised or whatever. It's like, I get it. Like I get, like, we want people to go to the events and we want people to experience the shows live, but like for people to keep up with what's going on with you, like not just for the benefit of the show, but for the benefit of as a fan, like, post something on your social media, like, a video, just some quick results. XYZ defeated XYZ, and just blah, 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 blah. You don't have to give it all away on there, but just kind of like, just let everybody know what happened. So, like I said, because unfortunately, some people can't make the events every single month. So it's hard to figure out, like, man, what exactly happened. So,
yeah. And another thing too on that point is, let's just say, because we don't talk a lot about MMWA, we don't talk a lot about some promotions that don't, and I don't want to just call them out, but there's a couple other ones as well. If they have a top wrestler that is doing very well at MMWA, we promote Kansas and Missouri wrestling. If we don't know what's happening in MMWA and they go on to Glory Pro or Anarchy or come over to Kansas City or wherever, we're not going to know what they've been doing and what they've accomplished already. They're going to appear to us as a, here's a new face that's going to come to us. Right. So again, just like Chase said, if you guys can, and I'm at fault of this as well, because if you've noticed over the last few weeks, I have posted the graphic of our show, just the picture, on our social medias, because I was doing it too.
Yeah.
I started looking through and I was like, man, I did it really well at the very beginning and all the way up until like October when we started doing the Canva stuff and I was getting more into the video making, but then I stopped. And then there was a few months span where it was, if you wanted to know who was on the show, you had to watch the video. I'm reverting back to posting that graphic so you guys can just see who we have on. So
yes, agreed. Giveaway.
Yes.
One more time. You have about 5, maybe 10 minutes left, guys.
You know what? You know what? We will give you until midnight. How about that? Let's give it to the end of we got 2 hours.
Yep.
The end of today, May 11th. If you send us your screenshot, and I'll post the graphic again, and then I want you to bring that down if you can, and show everybody who's here. We got quite a few viewers still. Here's how you enter. Real quick, we've already addressed this as well. Follow us on all social medias. Send a screenshot. We've got 5 guys: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Send us a screenshot that you have. Let me get me off my screen here. There we go. Can you still hear me, Chase?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you do that, you send a screenshot. You are entered in one time. The second entry, you share or repost or add to your story on all 5 social medias. You send a screenshot proving you did that. That is your second entry, and you get put on the wheel a second time. The third way to enter to get your name on the wheel 3 times is to subscribe, not follow. Subscribe to CRMEDIA 1988 on Twitch, which is Chase's Twitch stream. That's $4.99 a month, or you can use your Amazon Prime free sub for that as well. Chase does more than just the I-70 hot tag. If you guys like AEW, he does an AEW post show. Chief show?
Yes.
Chief show's coming up. If you guys are Kansas City Chiefs fans, watch that. They does Bad Booking, which is talking about the landscape of professional wrestling, not just AEW. It's everything. So lots of good stuff over on CRMEDIA 1988. But look at that title, man. That is a gorgeous, phenomenal.
Almost lost it there for a second. There we go.
Look at that, man. That's just shine that up, turn it sideways. I'm just kidding. Get your entries, guys. It's free. The first 2 entries are absolutely free. There's nothing you have to pay for.
You're not gonna pay shipping and handling. I'm gonna pay for it.
Yep.
All you gotta do is help the I-70 hot tag grow. And you have an entry to win a free replica championship belt. So it's wild. It's crazy.
Wild and
crazy. Wild and crazy. So this was made by my friend Muhammad from MA Championship Belts.
Shout out.
Yes. Muhammad is making my Winged Eagle. He's also making Josh's WCW Television Championship. So yes.
I can't wait for people to see that in belt collectors. You don't see the WCW television title.
So funny story. I got a friend who called me. He's a friend I go to work with. He doesn't watch wrestling anymore. He used to watch wrestling back in the 90s and a little bit in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Yo, man, how do I win that belt?" And I was telling him how. And he was like, "Man," he's like, "So that's an old school belt, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was telling him about the guy I bought it from, and he goes, "Dude," he goes, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If I got a custom championship, I'd probably get the WCW television." And I was like,
"No fucking way."
I was like, "What?" I go, "Are you serious right now?" And he goes, "What, man?" And he's like, "I just love it, man. It's just it's an underdog title, man. It's just low key underdog title." And I was like, "What is going on here?" Out of all these great championships, the Big Gold, the WWE, the Winged Eagle, the Big Eagle, the Undisputed, all these beautiful championships over the years, you two doofuses are like, "I'm gonna get the WCW television title."
Oh man. As soon as I posted that or placed that order with our friend Muhammad, I see a bunch, mostly on TikTok, of belt collectors. And as I said earlier, there's people who have a ton of belts. I'm talking like 15, 20 championships, and not that cheap one that I got here. It's like, high dollar, and not a single one of them have a WCW television title. And really, I don't think I've seen the AEW one. I know AEW tag team title is fairly new, but so I'm just it's weird. I have a weird taste in belts, and I can't wait to get it, man. I think it's about a week or two away before I get that. We can talk off air. It's not anything important. So
yeah. So real quick, guys, appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. We are going to run down some of the events, obviously, this weekend, and then we're also going to talk about some events coming up. And then we are going to close out because it is about that time. So, guys, May 13th, there is 4 events running in the area. Not the area, but, in Kansas and Missouri. So you've got the SICW Fanfest plus their wrestling show that they're going to hold with New Breed Wrestling. That is Saturday, May 13th. The Fanfest starts at 10 a.m. It goes to 6 p.m. And then we'll start the wrestling festivities afterwards. Then also in the Kansas City area, CSW, Central States Wrestling Aftershock, Dak Draper versus the One Call Banders for the CSW Championship. Also Jeremy Wyatt versus Kenny Alfonso for the DWF Championship. That's going to be a fantastic event. If you are over further inside Kansas and don't want to make the long drive to Kansas City for the CSW event, then great news for you. Trailblazer Championship Wrestling is going to run Tornado Alley. And as we just talked about, Raheem De La Suede is going to be on the card along with Warhorse, along with Mike Seidel. So it's going to be a great event as we broke down that card you saw. Also, MMWA's 3rd annual Tony Costa Battle Royal. That's going to be at the Athletic Broadway Club in St. Louis. So there is 2 events running in St. Louis. Like I said, no shortage of wrestling this weekend, guys. Definitely get out there and go support and go show those guys some love and go enjoy an event with your family. There is nothing compares to an independent wrestling event, and all 4 of those companies are going to put on great events. 5 companies, if you want to get technical. Then next weekend, Glory Pro Go for Broke. That's shaping up to be a great event. Then on May 27th, New Breed Wrestling is going to return to Sedalia and a hair versus hair match. That little punk Daniel Maxon, who called it a stupid podcast, is going to take on Burt Candy. Can't wait to watch Burt Candy roll all over that jabroni. Very, very excited. And then also on May 27th, CCW's May Mayhem is going to go. And they the premiere are scheduled to be in action. So like I said, great events coming up in the next month, guys. Make sure you get out and support the local companies.
There is, before we go on here, guys, if you saw our socials, there were 17 independent wrestling shows that have scheduled events coming up in the next couple months. I mean, that's the most we've had. I mean, maybe not, but it's the most we've had since we started this show. We've had 10. We've had the 4 shows per night, per weekend. But when I started going through this and I started writing all these down, we got, June is stacked with all different companies. July, we've got all the way to August 26th. 17 companies have scheduled events coming up, and there is no shortage of wrestling, great wrestling in the Kansas and Missouri. And like I said, that's just 2 states, man. That's not including, stemming into Colorado or stemming into Illinois or stilling, that's just
Nebraska,
our coverage area.
Iowa,
yeah, Iowa, Nebraska's killing it, but this is just our 2 states. And
yes,
we are in a the Herb Simmons, he talked about it. He talked about that the hill we're going up, and wrestling is on its way up, and it's continuing to rise. In our area, we're seeing it. It's absolutely killing it. The best independent scene in the country.
Agreed. So I want to highlight this comment. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes on this before we before we talk about our future guest and we close out. Alex Strahan is going to be a guest on the show.
Yep.
However, that week, that show is the 25th, right?
Yeah, it's the last Thursday of May.
I will be in Branson. I am going to do the show from my hotel room.
Okay, so you will do it. Okay.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna.
I didn't know if you're gonna tag in Brian.
I'm not tagging in Brian J because Brian J and Alex have heat, and I'm not doing that. So, you know me. I like to run a tight professional ship.
Cue Brian to say, "Hey, no, I'll do it." No, I think, yeah.
No, I'll be in Branson that, but I mean it'll be 8:30. You know, we'll be winding down, so I'll definitely be on the show that night. So
I will. Speaking of not being on the show next Monday night, yep. See, there it is. Queued it up, and he
I'll do it.
Hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
So next Monday, Brian J will be filling in for me as well. Again, as you guys saw last week, I was at a award ceremony for my sister's college or high school graduation. Actually, they did their award ceremony, I believe, and then this Monday is their actual graduation. So
Raypex is next Friday.
Dude, this is Grandview, and they're having it at the Cable Dahmer Arena, which is pretty badass.
That's awesome.
So that's where I'll be on Monday. But, you know, as we talked about, we've got Raheem De La Suede. Have Dean do it. Have Blair do it. Have Blair Dior on the pit stop.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely.
We could have some insight.
I don't know if you saw her.
I saw you guys got Blair get his ass beat.
No. I mean, the whole show was fucked up. And then Blair was like, "Watch my match from New Breed," and I was like, "All right, cool." Yeah. And then like I saw it was him and Maxi Pad against Joe Helms, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
Joe, like, this is about to go well.
Yeah, I was on. I put my phone up and I was driving. I was just, I could hear the whole time. Goddamn, Blair! Like, but have Blair do it. There you go. Dean agrees.
But yes, come hang out with us on Monday. We're gonna watch a match of Raheem De La Suede's, and then on Thursday we are going to have Raheem De La Suede on the show. Guys, tune in next week. We're going to have the big randomized wheel on the screen, and we're going to spin it. There's enough people here that I want to kind of go over that a little bit, how we're going to do it, because I always, this is how I saw somebody else do it, and this is how I would like to do it, so people know that it's not rigged or anything. Okay. You spin it randomly 3 times, and then on the 4th spin, that's the official spin. So like we would spin it once, it lands on a name, spin it twice, it lands on a name, just to show everybody like, hey, it doesn't land on a certain name. So unfortunately I've been on the receiving end of that where it's landed on my name on one
the first time.
Yeah, where it lands on my name on one of the test tries, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah. I like that. I like that because I don't want any accusations of anything. So
because if somebody who, because unfortunately with this randomized thing, somebody who's not here all the time, somebody who's not here at all could win this fucking thing.
Sucks, we've had people enter who have seen my video on TikTok, went and followed us randomly, got entered in, never probably have come in and watched our show, at least not live, could win this belt. So
yes, agreed. It happened with the swag bag, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember who won that one.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's got a hot tag shirt though.
Yes, agreed. And some stickers and other shit. So, anyways, guys, we appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. Like Josh said, you have until midnight tonight to enter in the giveaway for the United States Championship. Make sure you do it because I am highly disappointed because some of our regulars on the show have not entered into this contest. So that is my way of telling you, what the fuck are you doing? Go enter in. Other than that,
Dean Houston.
Other than that, we appreciate you guys joining with us tonight. Episode 54 in the books. Shazza McKenzie. Make sure you guys go check that out on the YouTube replay. Other than that, we will see you
Monday.
See you Saturday.
Yeah, see you Saturday. If you're in St.
I'm gonna bring my equipment and stuff, so we might do some live streaming. Let's do some live streaming.
Live streaming, do some interviews, man.
Might put a camera and a hot mic up in Ted DiBiase's face and be like,
why did you not reply? No.
Yeah. Is it true that Brett Favre? Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, guys. For myself, for Chase, for my friend Josh, the real Josh Elliott. As always. Good fight and good night.